introduce yourself.
What up with it, man? Skin and Bones, aka my effing code.
Alright. Let me tell you. Which one of your best songs that you like of yours? Like your one that it can blow or hit.
Shit.
I think you got a lot of shit, but
Oh man, I know that. And I don't even think about it now. Like when you say that, you come out off the mix we did, right?
yeah, I'm like, which one?
Um, I mean, really, I like the Sobuku. I think the Sobuku would do good in the club because it kind of have like a Snoop Dogg blue carpet treatment type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alright. How you come up with your rap name?
So basically, I started out. So my OG, who's Navajo and Octonaut American, Roberto Lee Wesley, he's from the Midwest, but by way of California, and he's also Navajo Indian, which is a combination of Mexican and Indian. And he started off with Ruthless Records, detailing for them and detailing for the Oakland Raiders. I didn't get to see him till I was like a teenager. So he came in a limo with a belt buckle, diamonds in it and shit. But the point I'm making is my first business card he gave me was Ruthless Records and Oakland Raiders, and so then they gave me kind of like a drive to eventually pursue that down the road, which has led me to Bone Thugs and Harmony. My cousin had a double cassette tape, Art of War, but I've been listening to Bone. So then eventually down the road, I made a one-way bus trip to LA after seeing a third of the United States on that whole trip. And so I always knew that if I was going to ever be affiliated, like I had this ambition to slightly be tied because I related to the whole Thug and Harmony thing. And so I was like, if I was going to, have a name outside of Don DeLeon Doctrino, it started off as Little Doc because my OG's name is Doc. You know what I mean? I used to be Baby Doc, and my big brother on my dad's side was Little Doc. Then I switched to Little Doc. Then I dropped the little and just wanted to be Doc, then Doctrino. So when I was on that Bone shit, I was like, well, me being Caribbeano, growing up around voodoo and hoodoo, I was like Skin and Bones because I was slim. But it also had a lot of meaning to it, like with a dollar sign. I felt like I could be an extension of the brand and bring something new. So then it took on the whole like metaphoric meaning, the money that folds, to change the jingles, the light, the dark, the woman and the man. So I became this quadruple entendre of shit. So that's where Skin and Bones come from.
Alright, so why do you do music?
Well, I come from an illustrious background of musicians and just music loving. And of course, again, I'm a mestizo, which a mestizo is two or more indigenous groups mixed. So I'm a Mexican Caribbean from my great grandfather, and I'm a Canadian Indian of royalty on my grandmother's mother's side. And then my grandfather is like what they call Octonaut and Native American. He's like one of the few of his kind. So it's all ancient type shit. Like music is a frequency vibration. So yeah, it just kind of chose me, I guess, and I fell into it. Tribal shit.
Alright, where you from?
So I'm from Tres Uno Siete. I'm from 317. But again, I was raised in them island ways, them indigenous ways. Growing up, we didn't talk about it a lot. My grandmother was born here in 25. And there was a lot of reverse racism. I'm going to talk about it because I don't think it's 1925. Yeah, so it's a lot of reverse racism people don't like to talk about, especially in Diana. Like, it's a lot of self-hate on people's skin colors that's dark against dark, light against light type shit. So she had to go through that, and one of my favorite stories which kind of showed me how we can hate ourselves so much that we don't even realize when we're looking at our peoples just because they might be different cultures. So she used to get picked on every day, and so this African American woman, I guess, didn't like the fact that she had a certain type of hair or whatever. So she'd pick on her every day. Well, back in those days, almost every woman could sew. So my grandma had some sewing scissors, and she pulled them out. Long story short, sliced her face up. And and she said she didn't want to be picked on no more. So the woman said, the young lady said to her, the only reason I reached out to you was to apologize to you for all the times I picked on you. But I told that to two people, like about a year or so ago, and their whole response, but one was Caucasian, the other one was a black woman. And they said, well, she was really so sorry. Why did it take her getting her face sliced up for her to see the light? So I think that's a lot of things that happen in life with our peoples, no matter how we swing or lean with our culture, that sometimes it takes somebody's life being online before they realize they fucked up. So that's kind of how I live my life. Like, I didn't really come out about being a Caribbeano until like 2012 or 11 when I was accused of being racist against Latinos. And because I'm a Tiamo Amarquinos Indian too, those are the Indians that founded the Boricuas, or what you know as the Puerto Ricans. So, yeah, it would be impossible for me to be prejudiced against those types of people because I am those type of people.
Alright. Where can we find your music at?
Well, I'm on all platforms. You can always Google SKIN-N-BONE $. You can put Bone Thug next to it to make it a little more easier. But at this point, the Google Trail is thickening like grits to the point to where it's almost easy to find that way.
Alright.
Or you can type in Lamoni F and Co. LAMONTI F.N.COE.
Alright. How long you been doing music?
So I've been doing music well over 15, 20 years. But the thing is, semi-professionally, I've been doing it since, I'll say, semi-professional when Bone, when I've known Bone since '03. They really put me down with the Chain Gang. I started messing with them in Columbus and Cleveland around '06, '07, and '08. So '08 though, Dragos, who made the Crossroads and he's working DJ Unique, put me down with the Boneyard Management, which was co-signed by Lazy Bone. But I was also connected to Seven Sign Regime, which is Busy Bones Camp. So I was like double tied, which is one of the rarest things for an affiliate to be, because most cats that fuck around with Bone, excuse me, you can't be double related basically. So I was one of the few that actually got connected to a subsidiary of Mo Thug while still being tied to Busy Bones Group, which his Vice President Q Loco, Lockdown Love, was the underboss, the man that made me like the liaison of the camp when they rebooted it for business online.
Alright. How many mixtapes and albums do you have?
Wow. So I don't even know no more. I mean, well, and that sounds kind of weird. I don't like how it sounds, but basically, part of my work started off just experimenting, being able to pay however much money an hour. And I mean, I was a hustler as a youngster too, but always somebody gonna have a bigger bag. So I grew up on the Mo Thug and Pope Pimp and 8-Ball and MJG. So back when I was coming up, it's all the hustle is what made you, but it's also your swag and shit. So I decided that nobody's bag was ever going to outdo my talent. So what I started doing was I would line my songs up in the motherfucking recorder, and they just hit record, and I go right through them. I had my verses, my choruses all done in like 76 minutes or an hour or whatever. So I knocked out a lot of tapes like that, and that was more or less practice for me. So serious mixtapes, I say, the last time I checked through the distribution thing, I had well over, these are singles, EPs, a combination of about close to 200 songs. Right now, like going through any distribution, Apple, whatever you could think of at this point.
That's good. Alright. Where do you record your first song?
If I remember correctly, one of my first songs was my original group I had called Candy Femin Family, which was a spin-off of like some Thugs, Children of the Corn type shit. This with a K, and we recorded at Smooth Stone Studios in Howard County. A 2-song single.
Alright. How your 2021 is gonna be like?
So right now, yeah, I'm excited to say, yeah, we just did the first version, the enhanced version with, of course, DJ G-Man for our American Ideology, which we also have some designer shoes named after that. And that right there kind of just shows the expansion of my rap singing ability in different genres. But then we got the follow-up, which is the Newborn Baby line prequel EP, which is like some pop thug shit, and then it's gonna be the full-fledged album, which is something totally different, more hardcore rap singing. So for 2021, we just want to give people, especially coming out of Indianapolis, which I call Hollynapolis, we want to show the industry and people around there that we can come off with some saucy ass shit. Like motherfuckers I like to listen to, the new wave is like Trippie Redd, the Sauce Twins, or the Sauce Factory, Johnny Cinco, Schoolie, 2 Chainz, Cap One, Coca Vango. I think that they got a great, red, blue, and black print for what Bone started and Do or Die Twister did. I think like that's how music should really be. It should be something like Derez De'Shon as well. It should be like that. So that's how we come. We come up with original rap singing shit, but with some wavy shit combined too. Yeah.
How's the support in your city?
So basically, I had to go international before that shit happened, and I feel like I've had a pendulum type of thing, off and on type shit. Like, I think that because of my ties with the Bone, maybe I've garnished more of jealousy than support. But I didn't never get with Bone to be famous that everybody would like me. I did it because it spoke to my culture, it spoke to me as a person, and I am a thug in harmony. When it comes to magic, when it comes to being indigenous, the struggle that we went through as brown people, and that Akhenatans who call themselves black go through, I feel like as a native Americanos, I'm here to save the black man and the black woman from self-hatred. And when they look at me, they can see the hatred that they have against themselves. So if they hate on me, I'm gonna put a fucking voodoo root on them. I don't need no guns and knives to do that shit. So by them listening to my music and seeing how we lived and grew up, we reverse racism. They can realize they ain't by themselves. They can understand what it means to really come together and unite in harmony.
Alright. Who inspired you to make music?
Man, my daddy, rest in peace. My grandma, my sister, Louise, Aunt Yanis, my nothing ass mama, Mariella. Busy Bone, Q Loco, Draco, Roger Zapp, the Gap Band, Prince and the Revolution, Duran, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, Wu-Tang, The Barge, the Manhattans, the Four Tops, the Temptations, Punk Rock, G-Funk, G-Punk, my thugs, my gangsters, my queens, my empresses. Ahua Baphomet, Imasa Munda, Ashra the mother of all the universe.
Yeah. Who would you like to collab with?
All my bloods, all my cousins, my souls, my foes, my gangster stones, my renegades, my outlaws. Everybody that's out here coming together as oneness, as wellness, making it all good. Like anybody that's all is good with me is good with me. Like, that's who I want to collab with. Motherfuckers that can feel that vibration and that harmony. You know what I mean?
Alright. What is one message you can give your fans?
Thug in harmony. Like, keep it in harmony. Like, half will agree, half will not, but all will unite for the survival of humanity, or we gonna perish. Like you said, like in your post, if we can unite like ATL, like Hawaii, like Japan, like China, like Russia, we'll be unstoppable. So Hollynapolis is a brand to show y'all that the industry is with us. Do motherfuckers like me, do motherfuckers like you locally. That's Hollynapolis to me. Sir Hart, G-Stack, what Monkey Boy did, what Primo did, all the motherfucking originals, Miss Phoebe, DJ Black, DJ Be Nasty, DJ World. Like, that's Hollynapolis. Don, all of them. Dark Man, Regency, rest in peace. That's Hollynapolis, and I'm bringing it back in a major way. Like, let me be known. We always been tied to the industry. Superfly, he from us. Eric, Vivica Fox, you know what I'm saying, Babyface. And they had to pay their dues, so we all got dues to pay. If you don't see it that way, then you wasting your motherfucking time.
What would you be doing right now if you weren't doing music?
Singing. Still singing to myself. Still chanting, still doing voodoo and hoodoo, like making my best attempt to change the world, teach the world to be better thugs and harmony, because it's always been in my soul, you know. Banging's in my heart, but survival's in my soul. So, I mean, like, I feel like it's all a spiritual experience. And until we realize that, we're gonna be lost. We can be Black Panthers all day, but if you ain't got no spirituality, how you gonna understand what Machiavelli meant? How you gonna understand what the First Month really was about? It was about superseding government checks and going into a mindset that we can do anything if we put our mind to it. You know what I mean? We gotta, I was gonna say, yeah, we just gotta look. We gotta look at our. I always took after ECW, like every with wrestling. I look at life like wrestling. I always looked up to like ECW because those cats was recording their commercials in a basement. Even though WCW and WWE had all these big bankroll type of budgets, but ECW they had the warriors, they had the gladiators that wasn't scared to jump off onto some packs, set themselves on fire just to get that check. So I feel like if we take that same mentality, that we take those risks, like the way you fucking with Skin and Bones, like motherfuckers probably get mad at you for whatever reason. Like when you your own person, nobody can stop you. Cause you can go anywhere, anytime, any place, any day. You know what I mean?
Alright. How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
Man, great question. Cause like real talk. Shout out to Chamber Music from Wu-Tang, G Clef, the Mad Composer. He was one of the original ones outside of CD Baby to like distribute music. And then came Bone Thug Affiliated.com. So like I was around for the internet revolution, Distrophonics, when it was Kickstar Production bought out by Sonic for $1 million and became Orchard Publishing. Like internet is where it's at, but it's about licensing, it's about branding, it's about copyright, it's about giving motherfuckers like G-Man who gonna give you a good deal and make it worth a motherfucker while. Stop trying to cheapskate and go to everybody. Motherfuckers is saying like, this place is broke, but I really feel like if people put their shit together the way they supposed to and learn their business law, they could be just like Atlanta and Cali. So definitely. The internet is important, but it's only as important as you make it.
What is the best advice somebody gave you?
Man, Big Cash from Mo Thug Records who helped Lazy Man get out of 7 years of debt with the IRS. He told me one day, man, y'all like excuse me. I'm an OG and that shit still brings tears to my eyes. He said to me, he told me, man, the key to being a star, which is one of my EPs coming out soon, I'm a star. Like, I'm glad I can sit here and talk to you about this in my own city. It's been a long time coming. Shout out to Sir Hart because he had faith in me when nobody else did. But the biggest thing homie ever told me, and he gets a lot of backlash even though he did big things. You ain't gonna always be loved for the stuff you do, and I like that one time. Being a star, nobody should have access to you 24/7. And that's just how it is. Like, being here, this is something that I give G-Man because he's a real motherfucker. He's a renegade, he's an outlaw, and that's something that Indianapolis forgot how to do. What made it stand out with NAPG Stack and Jimmy Mack and all of them motherfuckers was they didn't give a fuck. And y'all motherfuckers give a fuck too much. And I don't mean like on some political shit. That's when it's time to be responsible. That y'all give a fuck about nothing and shit. Be different, stand out, blaze the trail. Take risks with other artists. And stop getting into this fucking preschool childish dick in the booty ass shit. That's what I'm saying. And that's what Cass taught me, is being a star is a responsibility to your people, to your community. It ain't about just flashing and cashing out. It's about actually pouring back into your community so you can be the better tomorrow for these babies that we making out here.
If you could open up any show for any artist, who would it be?
If I could open up for any artist, man, that's real. Like, I mean, I'm already in the process of doing it, and I don't know if I should say it. But I just put it like this. I won't say who I open up. I'm going to tell you artists that I definitely endorse. King from New Orleans. I love Young Thug, the original Young Thug, once he jumped on his Young Stoner shit with the Barter Six and I'm a Stoner and Two Bitches. Gotta give it out to Durenz Deshawn. Gotta give it up to Coca Bango, Scooby, 2 Chainz, and Cap One from the Shy. Because I feel like these cats is really, doing revolutionary music. Like, nothing like this has been heard since the fucking Motown or Mo Thugs. Like, them motherfuckers is killing it. Like, rap singing is the shit. And if y'all don't master that, you know, master the ability to do both, because that's where we at. It ain't just about Drake, because Drake got it. What I'm saying is you got to know where you got it from. Wherever you get it from, just pay homage. Give people their flowers while they alive. Your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister. Because you ain't promised today, tomorrow, or tonight.
Yeah. What's your Facebook name or Instagram?
So yeah, I ain't been fucking Instagram lately, but it's there. You can find Ramani Cole. I ain't there right now. So the best thing to do is catch me flashing over on Facebook and Google me or email me. Oh, that's just available. But Facebook is, you know what I'm saying, the fastest way to catch me through Messenger. And I got a Skin and Bones artist page, you know. And one thing I will say, being who we are, being viral famous, because like if I died tonight, if I passed out right now on this fucking couch, what y'all gotta understand is, y'all can Google me. And I don't know how many motherfuckers can do that, but I know that that's special. When you Google me, you gon' see the story, and I think that is more important. I went viral back in 2011 before viral was a thing, when they had stickies and all this kind of stuff. So I know the impressions and the importance of that, but I just been taking my time because it's important to see how you made it, where you come from, and I done been here a few times. Now I'm like, I first did my player circle, then I was Titty Boy. Now I'm on my 2 Chainz shit, pull up to the scene with the silliness. And that's where we coming. We coming back in a major way. So yeah, that's how you find me, man. And Google Up Music, definitely. You can also find me on YouTube, you know, with a lot of media outlets and interviews.
Who supports your music more, family, friends, or strangers?
Yeah, that's wild, because that's another thing that goes back to Tres Uno Siete, the 317. Like, it wasn't like when Sir Harden stopped beating her and 100 ET was popping, I was a part of that movement. And it's like when that main thing kind of faded, we lost the identity. This was before Maxie was Maxie. He was Young Tone and Dro Man, Jiggly. I was around for all of that. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, Winner's Circle. I can name 1,001 people that y'all know I was around for. So when I decided and learned from Bone and Wu-Tang that the way was the internet, I totally kind of blitzed promoting in the streets. My first tape was produced by Sir Hart and Nina Ross from the South, who got hosted by DJ Smalls, and mixed and engineered by DJ Dragos of Bone Thugs and Harmony. So I put out 100 copies into the Indianapolis streets. Everything else went online. Before online was a big deal. Yeah. Everything was online. So it's like I always knew online was the way, because it's a massive tool, utensil to the world. So Nigeria, Japan, Czech Republic, I was being played on people's Xbox before it was a thing, when ringtone music was a thing. So it's like, I guess you could say strangers. You know, my grandma Masita, when she was alive, she supported me, but when I became a force, overseas motherfuckers, they love me, just like Jimmy Herrick. So I just want to give something back to my people now before I get too OG or old or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like this is the perfect time to let Indianapolis, aka Indianapolis, shine to the rest of the world.